Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So today we are going to do a match in the T28 concept, and I just want to, school's in session, put it that way. I'm going to try and show you something so that if you ever get this map or you're in this situation, predicament, whatever you want to say, um, utilize your mini map. If you see tank destroyers setting behind you, and you're in this city area or another map where the same situation might, present itself to you, don't sit there and push against the enemy. Let them come around the buildings so that you can let your tank destroyers that are sitting up here that probably won't get spotted can sit there and just tear them a new butthole. What you're going to see, unfortunately, what happens is our mediums, heavy tanks go into the city, and myself and the STRV S1 sit up here, and we're just nailing anybody and everybody that we get shots at. And unfortunately, a lot of the heavies and mediums, and even a couple tank destroyers, which I don't know why a tank destroyer would go into the city, um, they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and you'll see all these tanks sitting right here, in the city here, that are just on the edge of the buildings, and they won't come around because of all the mediums and heavy tanks that are stopping them from uh, not wanting to come around. Well, why would they come around if our tanks are pushing into them and just getting their asses handed to them? So if you run into this, I mean, look at your mini map. If I were one of these heavies down here, and I looked at my mini map and I saw two tank destroyers sitting up here basically covering my back, I would back off, let the enemy tanks come to me, and basically just sit there and tear them a new one. But unfortunately, that's not what happens, and we end up losing pretty much our whole team except for myself, the STR VS1. Um, I think one of the other tank destroyers back here, the AT-8, I think he was still around. The mistake I made was I waited too long. Some of these shots I took, I almost shot my own guy there. Them little wheeled vehicles, I tell you, boy, they're a bitch to hit at any kind of range. And, especially after what, Wargaming did with the accuracy nerf on everything. Um, Can't believe I hit that Cromwell, just knocked his track off. But yeah, so anyways, it's if our team would have let them come around in the city, we would have just whittled the crap out of them. But what I was saying, the mistake I made was towards the end, I should have gone into the city to try flushing them out sooner. Unfortunately, I waited too long. I think there was like a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes left on the clock. Nice shot for me there. Not. Um, the accuracy on this isn't bad, but it's not the best in the world. It's like kind of, I don't know if you can see it from, no, that just does your penetration and stuff. I think I take him out right here, though. Bang. I miss a complete side shot where he's got his whole side aimed out there, and then I clip the top of his turret and knock him out. But yeah, the mistake I made, I waited too long towards the end of the match to go in and try flushing him out, and it ended up being a draw. I think if I would have taken off 2 minutes sooner than I did, there's really a good chance we could have won. But the T-29 on the enemy team, I have no clue where he went to. I mean, I literally went through the whole city towards the end. I went through the whole city, came out over here by their cap, or over here by this where this E25 is, and then headed towards their cap. So I don't know if maybe the T29, if I can talk, if the T29 was like trying to come up and flank us from behind or something. I don't know, but never saw him again when I went into the city to try flushing them out. And again, with like these guys right here, the T43 and the 3485, if they would have just backed off and let these guys, I miss a couple just stupid easy shots here. Like that. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. I mean, the gun dispersion on this, I think it's like 3.8, might be 3.7. But man, I was getting frustrated when I was missing simple shots like that. But yeah, it's the same thing here with the T-43 and that other whatever tank. Well, he's dead now, but whatever else was over there. If they would have gone down, let them guys come over the hill. You got tank destroyers covering you and backing you up. Um, use what you have to your advantage. But like this T-43, back down, let them guys come over, and we could have just annihilated. Well, what was over there? We ended up taking it all out between me and the other tank destroyer there. Um, and there goes one of our heavies, because what's he doing? He was sitting down there pushing, pushing, pushing right there. Where if he wouldn't have done that, and if he would have backed up, more than likely, um, I just really feel if they would have backed off and let these guys come around the buildings, we would have easily won this. But they didn't. See, watch. As soon as they come out and they show themselves, oh, we melt them. It's like, do they not see this? Back up. I mean, we're down to 2 heavy tanks, and they're still in the city pushing. It's like, back up. Let them come to us. I mean, artillery's hitting them. You got 2 tank destroyers sitting back here that just can annihilate them. Let them come out. Let them come out and play. Let them come play with our guns so we can kill them. But no, they don't. And they get killed. Like this KV2. What he should have been doing is backing up, backing up, backing up, and draw them into us. But that's not what happened. They just kept pushing into the city. See right there, he's going back into the city. And the King Tiger, same thing. Instead of backing up and letting them come to us, to the open area, he's sitting there pushing and pushing, and he ends up getting killed. It's it's like I always tell my kids, I can lead you to water, but I can't make you drink. I can give you the tools, I can give you the books, I can give you the pencils, but I can't do the work for you. If these people would have, yeah, there goes the KV2. Simple Simon, if they would have looked and said, "Oh, look, there's 2 tank destroyers back there. Watch this. Watch these guys as they finally are able to come around the buildings because all our heavies were dead. Um, as soon as they can come around the building, guess what? They just get annihilated. I don't know. To me, it's common sense. If I were a heavy and I was in that situation, um, I would have easily just backed up and let the tank destroyers behind me. If I were that King Tiger right now, I would be backing up as fast as I possibly could and let these guys come out into the open and let these tank destroyers back here just knock the snot of them. I mean, look at this. You got me, the STR VS1, AT8. We got another one over there. I don't know what he is. AMX or something. Another STRV or something way over there in this over here. I mean, you got a whole line of tank destroyers. Back up and let them come out. I mean, watch when they finally are able to come around these buildings. I mean, we just make short work of them. Literally. I mean, no quicker than they come around the buildings and we make them disappear. And I'm not one for really setting back doing this kind of tank destroyers. I mean, I like this one because the gun, you can, if you have to, the gun has got awesome gun arc. I mean, you can literally, I don't know if I can, I mean, you can see how far I've got it turned that way. I think it turns actually a little bit further. So this one, if you take it into the city, you're not too bad off because you can kind of aim around buildings versus like the STR VS1. I wouldn't have expected him to go in there because he'd have to go into the city, hit X to go into the special mode, and then he'd be able to shoot. And then he doesn't have as good a gun traverse as I do, so that's why I decided I was going to go in. But like right now, I should have already been. So there's that medium tank. He just popped out and boom, dead. Um, Here in a minute, the Yag 88 pops out because there's no heavies or mediums. There he is. So my shot bounces. And then he gives us a side trying to back out of there and see hate to be ya. I know I was lit, so I figured, well, I better back up. This only has 880 hit points, and it's got phenomenal frontal armor, but it's got these 2 hellacious weak spots right here. We got one on each side. And if they get shots into those, they will pen every single time. That's why you want to coax them to shoot your front plate, because this front plate is super solid. Super solid. But yeah, I should have taken off 5 minutes, probably in less than a minute. I should have taken off and headed into the city to start trying to flush them out. But, seeing what they had compared to what we had, 9-9, they've got one, two, three, four, well, actually, two tank destroyers, a medium, and two heavies. We've got one, two, three, four, five tank destroyers. So basically, they've got turreted tanks. If I was really thinking they were going to push the cap, but yeah, it just doesn't happen. They just stay in the city, or like this ARL V39. At the end, we end up getting towards the cap, going to see if we could take him out. Never spotted him. T29, I don't know where he went. Um, the E25, I think I see him for a split second. He gets knocked out by something. Oh, actually, right here, I think he gets knocked out. I was going to try going over, but I would have went down the little hill there, and it wouldn't have been pretty. So this is where I'm starting to think maybe I should get going. Then I pull forward again. I hesitated too long. With 4 minutes left, I should have been heading into the city already. Actually, I was going to start going here, then I stopped. And I think I wait here for a second. And I start going down, then I back up, and then I type, hey, I'm going to go into the city and flush them out. But I think there's only like 2 minutes left on the clock. So, yeah, I'm kicking myself, because if I wouldn't have waited so long, probably could have pulled a win out. Right here is where I backed up just so I could type. I didn't want to be out in the open typing and have somebody start plugging me, So I back up. I stop here in just a second, and then you'll see down here I type. Well, it doesn't show it typing. It must show it after I type. But, I was just letting the team know, hey, I'm going into the city. I'm going to try flushing them out. Be ready. See, I said I'll go in, see if I can flush them out. Be ready. So IO, off to the city we go. And you'll see that if you haven't got this thing, this HTC, I'll keep it like this so you can see how well the gun arc is on it. It just literally, you can pretty much aim around walls. It's pretty cool. I mean, look at the gun arc on this thing. I can come around, I can see around buildings, shooting back up real quick. The thing has got phenomenal gun arc. So I'm just kind of going where the KV2 and T29 were last spotted. That Cromwell's come around this way. He gets knocked out. I think the STRVS-1 knocks him out. Yep, he did. So I come around this corner, and if I would have had my gun already pointed that way, probably would have been a little bit better. I probably would have got a shot into the KV2. And then I saw the artillery. I'm like, son of a booger. I didn't want to have him start plugging me. But I wanted this KV2 gone. So the KV2, I don't even know if he actually hit me. Let me see. Oh, he actually did hit me, but on the strongest part of the armor. He only did 159 damage. Now, if he would have shot this right here, oh, yeah, he probably would have been damn close to one-shotting me. So, let me get back to the view here. So he's going to try flanking me, and then he backs up, and then I take him out. And I don't know what artillery was doing. Maybe he was trying to hide. You can't see me behind this little pole. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to be able to shoot him too well. I can't get my gun down that far. So let's run him over. Oh, he actually shot me for 142 damage. For a minute there, I was like, oh, crap. Did I just screw up? I thought I got myself stuck. Unfortunately, they've still got the T29, which I never did see again, and that ARL V39, which I was thinking I'm going to run into one of the two. The T29 was last spotted just back here. I'm like, he's got to be here somewhere. And the STR VS1 is coming in to help look and see what he can do. Unfortunately, the AT-8, I don't know if he was AFK or just figured we'd, finish the match off and win it, but he didn't move. Um, I don't think I don't think either of us light anything up for the remaining part of the match. I just couldn't figure out where. I thought, well, maybe they, went back to their cap thinking we are going to push to their cap. Oh, there's the T-29. So he did get respotted. I didn't realize that. I was so affixed looking for the ARL V39 and stuff. So I think that's the bathtub. It's got a hell of a gun. But he was last spotted up on this hill. So I'm going as fast as my little engine will take me, which is, you know, how how slow can it go? Yeah, we're doing not even 20, about 19, 20 kilometers an hour. So I figured, well, at least I'll get in the cap, maybe get some cap points. And unfortunately, game, set, match. So yeah, between me and the STRVS one, we got 9 kills. I shot him an invite and he took it. So we got a brothers in arms. But yeah, now just, for future reference, if you ever have that happen where, you're in a heavy or a medium tank and you're fighting in the city, back up around the building so that your tank destroyer sitting back here can just sit there and annihilate them. Because if they would have, for one, we would have had more tanks because they wouldn't have been pushing into them and getting killed. And two, we probably would have won this match because we would have killed a lot of them a lot sooner. But unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way. But yeah, if you don't have this T20, what is it, T20 HTC, right? Yeah, T20 HTC reward tank. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, when you get it, you're gonna love it. As long as you can keep your front facing them, your best bet is to try hiding one with your turret, or your upper, part of your tank destroyer there. And this one, if there's a wall right there, you can hide the other one. This thing is almost impossible for even tier 9s to will have trouble going through this thing. Some tier 10s will even bounce off it. So yeah, this thing is a beast, but those weak spots, those machine gun ports right there, really, really, really weak spots, really bad weak spots. And sorry about that. I accidentally ended the video before I meant to. But anyways, it is done. So yeah, if you want to hold on for a minute, I'll have some post-game stats for you. So I will be right back. Alrighty, so kind of let this be a lesson when you have tank destroyers setting behind you, literally 2 tank destroyers setting behind you, and if you back up and let the tanks come around the building, just come around the building, instead of pushing them back by trying to fight them, let them come forward and your tank destroyers can make easy work of them. Unfortunately, our team didn't have the, I guess, brain cells to do that, and they kept, trying to fight them off, fight them off, fight them off, and then they would get killed, and then somebody else would come in and they would try and push them and take them and fight them off, and then they would get killed. It's like, come on, guys. I mean, as soon as they ran out of, we ran out of friendlies on our side in the city, they started coming around, and guess what? The 2 tank destroyers setting up on the hill, myself and the STRVS-1, we made short work of them. Well, then towards the end, I waited too long to head towards their cap and try and flush them out. I should have left probably 2 minutes before I did. But then I ran into the KV2, finished him off. The FV304, which we crushed him. That might have been it. I can't remember if oh, no, I thought I ran into something else. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, let that be a lesson to you. If you know you got tank destroyers sitting behind you and artillery, let them come around at you. Don't go at them and go around the building and get the snot knocked out of you. Let them come around and come at you. It would have worked out a whole lot better. And I imagine we probably would have won if our team would have done that. But all in all, I mean, myself and the tank destroyer on the hill with me, we did phenomenal. Towards the end, I noticed I had 6 kills and he had 3, so I shot him an invite to get a brothers in arms. So that was Mastery Badge Class 2, a Duelist, Fire for Effect, a Bruiser. I got 26 bonds for the rewards here. Well, 25 of them, and then I got one bond for the brothers, or excuse me, the Top Gun, and then we got the brothers in arms. So the MX M49, M449, we hit them for 313. Oh, and reason being, I switched to premium rounds when I went into the city because you can't afford to have in a tank destroyer. You can't afford to have your round bounce. For them to, because you could see that KV2 was he was going to try getting around me, and if he would have done that, I'd have been in deep shit. So, excuse me. That's why I loaded up the premium rounds towards the end there. I think I shot a couple premium rounds like at the Yag 88 and maybe something else too. Yag 88's got phenomenal armor, so. But anyways, so the AMX M449 we hit him for 313. The Yag 88 we hit him for 266, finished him off. The Leo hit him for 186, knocked out his loader, finished him off. VK30.02D we hit him for 345. KV2 we hit him twice for 574, finished him off, knocked out his fuel tank, so we must have lit him on fire. The Cromwell, we just knocked his track off, or just damaged his track. 30.01D, we hit him for 61, finished him off. The SU-100, hit him for 80, finished him off. And the FV-304, we crushed him for 280. We just rolled over the top of him and sat on him and crushed him and finished him off. And believe it or not, we did a second most damage. The STRV beat us out by about 200, close to 300 damage more than us. But we ended up getting 6 kills, base experience of 553. Yeah, and I mean, look at these guys that were, in the city pushing, you know, getting them to come, stay around the buildings, and they would go to them. The BK, a hell of a gun, great armor, 901 damage. T-43, King Tiger, all of them. If those guys would not have done what they did, they probably would have done more damage. They probably would have been in the match, and we probably would have won. But when they sit there and push and keep pushing and pushing and not letting the enemies come around, well, you're setting your team up for failure. We had 15 shots, 10 hit, 8 pen, so even some of the premium rounds were bouncing. Total damage of 2105 from a distance of more than 300 meters, 1251. We got hit one time. I think that was from the KV2 with the derp gun. Hits received as a result. Splash damage is 1. So that 304, FV304 must have got a shot on me. Unless that was from the KV2. I don't know. You have to pay attention when I'm doing the review, or the replay part. We spotted 1 damage, 9 destroyed, 6. After all was said and done, we lost 3,855 credits. Not too bad, considering it's the reward tank, but you don't. Oh, this is a guy I think that was. Yeah, he was the guy that was teamed up with me there. I told him great job. He said, yeah, good job too. Totally agree with my camo rating. They would have never spotted me and could have shot all day without worries. I also have 460 spotting with binos. We had our whole half of the map covered. They wouldn't have been able to win. Exactly my point. That's what I said to him. He agreed 100%. Hell of a good player too. But yeah, him and I were covering that whole side of the map. Between 2 tank destroyers, we had it down. Obviously, when we got 9 kills between us, and if those heavy tanks and the medium tanks literally would have just let them come out, we would have won that match, plain and simple. But yeah, for shooting I can't remember exactly how many premium rounds I shot, but I want to maybe 5, 6, could be more. So losing only 3,855 in credits isn't too bad. It was a heck of a good match. I mean, I wish it would have been a win, not a draw. But, you can't control how other people play their tanks, obviously. And sometimes you just wish you could. And it doesn't do any good sometimes. You'll tell them back up, and they don't listen. They don't read their chat. They don't know they got a mini map, or they just don't pay attention. They're often dull and going, oh, I got to kill this guy. I got to kill this guy. Oh, I'm dead. But... Oh, and the WN8 for that match was 4,191. So, yeah, really good match. So I was pretty happy with that. But anyways, if you enjoyed that match, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. You guys take it easy, be safe, and I will see you on the battlefield.